Right. Morning, y'all. Just get right into it. Woke up this morning and feeling very down, feeling very sad. A lot of despair. Feelings that I haven't felt in a long time, so I'm very grateful for them. Very grateful just to feel anything to kind of continue motivating myself to make the changes that I'm looking for in my life. Not so much in my life, but in my reality, in all of our shared reality. But thinking about the feelings that was kind of going through my body and how I was gonna like release them and do something more productive, make something beautiful out of them. I'm definitely seeing that's like a pattern that's happening right now where a lot of people are just in their own despair. They're not really mentally in a good whole space. There's that saying, it's always darkest before the dawn, and things are pretty dark for most people, and that's kind of what's adding to my sadness because I know that I'm like a very blessed individual, and what's going on in my life isn't nearly as impactful as what's going on in the average person's life. They're definitely going through a lot more than I can ever know. So just understanding that people, we are collectively all over the world, they're just in like a lot of pain, and people are just looking for something to believe in, or someone to believe in, with just everything that's going on, with just a lot of hope and despair, a lot of people just going through the motions, kind of on autopilot, not really sitting down and taking inventory. People seem to be bottling up their emotions. I know I was doing that for a while, and not allowing them to feel things unless very specific circumstances. When I feel like that is like the opposite. I feel like you should always feel something, especially men. We definitely should kind of allow us to feel these emotions. There's this kind of this stereotype going around that women are more emotional than men. But when you really put a little bit more nuance into it, that's actually not true. Women are just allowed to express their emotions a lot more than men are. We aren't allowed to uh, show anything other than like anger. That's pretty much our main one. Everything else kind of gets put down and suppressed, and it's definitely taking a toll on a whole lot of people, both men and women. It's dealing with everyone not expressing how they feel, and just not giving themselves that grace to actually be able to just feel something. Be able to not be okay, and be all right with that. Just sit with that for a little bit. That's something I've been doing. This sitting with how I'm feeling in the moment, and just allowing it to run through me, versus just kind of like suppressing it and pushing it aside, and just keep moving. Just sitting down, just feeling what I'm feeling, like what's causing these feelings. When I woke up, like I just woke up in a really bad mood, a lot of sorrow, and I'm like, what's going on here? So I just sat there in that sorrow, and I got pretty much through it. Now I feel, 10 times better just because I allowed myself to feel what I was going through and have those emotions, those feelings I have for that person, for the situation that I'm currently in, and where I want to be, where I see myself. Just allowing myself just to feel it and let it run through. That was huge. Because now I feel 10 times better just because I was just allowing myself to feel something. If I didn't allow myself to do that, I would have been more impulsive. I probably would have made a lot more decisions or decisions that would have not gotten me the results I was looking for. There's a bunch of things I want to do just because I feel like doing them. And I know that if I don't just give myself that grace to be like, well, this is how you feel in the moment. Like, can you like at least give yourself, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go through everything, look at everything, every single direction, and then be like, how do you feel now? Like, oh, okay, I don't feel the same way I felt 5 minutes ago because I allowed myself to actually go through the motions and feel everything. So I feel a lot of people, especially successful people, they kind of just suppress everything, kind of compact it just so they can keep moving forward, which is important. But sometimes you just gotta stop. Sometimes you don't gotta move at all, just kind of take inventory and allow whatever that feeling is to just kind of, suppress you. If you're feeling, the weight of everything, you feel like you're about to get submerged, instead of like struggling through it and try to fight it. Sometimes it's this standing and sitting still and allowing whatever that feeling, that event that's happening, just kind of allow it to flow through you, understanding that that's not going to change your trajectory, not going to keep you from getting where you need to go or being who you need to be. So just allowing it to just flow through you is something that's very much needed in people's lives. I feel like, we are all collectively going through a phase of our lives that we never really experienced. It's like I was saying in a few of my other videos, our collective intelligence is we just got so much knowledge of what's going on that we just don't really know how to fully process everything right now, especially with so much going on at the same time. And COVID definitely expedited that as well, definitely reminded us of our mortality and how short life is. We lost so many things, people, freedoms, all at once. And, that compiled with everything else that we're dealing with, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. So, it's from my perspective, we're definitely on the brink of like something very great. I just know it, ebbs and flows. The whole like strong men make hard times make strong men. I forgot the whole saying, but I mean, there's some truth to it. But I just know that from all of this, we are going to build and create a world that is going to just be able to withstand damn near anything. We're building so much resilience right now through these times that it's just going to, like, we're all pretty much going to be enjoying the fruits of our labor here pretty soon. I know it. I can feel it. I know it doesn't seem like it right now. People are definitely panicking. They're looking for answers. A lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of fear going on, which makes a whole lot of sense. Things aren't adding up. when things are not adding up, it's time to subtract. So people are definitely subtracting. They're getting that awareness of like who people are. How people are affecting them, and we're going through. I see a lot of labels getting thrown on people. People being sociopaths, narcissists, people calling people abusive, and there's a whole bunch of truth to a whole lot of that. We all have a little bit of neuropathy in us. We're all trying to figure things out, but at the same time, uh, the constant finger pointing, and I don't think it's going to be beneficial in the long term. I think in the short term, we definitely need to start giving ourselves grace so we can kind of pass that on to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we should do for ourselves, and we're working on it. We're we're definitely getting to that point, but you can definitely see in all different parts of social media how people are just more willing to tear people down than to build them up, and that's definitely seen being kind of on like the front page of a whole lot of social media. Just people just kind of want to tear people down over and over and over again. I'm glad a lot of people are seeing that and kind of waking up to that kind of shared abuse that people are just kind of doing. Whereas we're just dogpiling on people just because of how we feel, and people are starting to understand like, oh, this is more than just making fun of some celebrity because they did something wrong and did something a little bit cringe. This is definitely a lot of like self harm. You know what I'm saying? When you want to, like the saying goes, hurt people, and it just shows how hurt people are. So that's what motivates me to continue doing what I'm doing and making the progress I'm going to make in the world, because I know so many people are just like, this whole mood that we're all in. It's a giant cry for help. People just want answers. They want to feel safe, feel heard, feel validated, and we're all trying to get to that point in the best way we know how. So it's there's definitely a struggle going on, but at the same time, there's also a collective confusion going on where people are just not really sure what's going to happen. But people's moral compass, it seems to be pretty much set to where they know what's right, know what's wrong, and they're definitely understanding like how they need to move in the world, where where people know like they can't continuously harm other people or to do things that just go against their morality. People aren't as evil or as nasty or as mean as we would like to make them out to be. They might be that way to you or to other people, but overall, people are just there's a lot more nuance to them, and there's no real reason to like make like enemies out of people who just wrong you, or vice versa. So it's we're all just getting through it. Like things are just very, very raw right now. Uh, this is definitely trying times. This is definitely, like, I understand why the younger generation is definitely kind of, and this is happening all over the world, is kind of just being like, I want no part of this. They're not opting in on a lot of the social things we used to do to keep society running the way that it is, and this is probably for the best. If these things were so great, if how we did things for all these years was so was for our betterment, then it should be able to withstand what's going on. But if not, then maybe the foundation it was made on wasn't so sound. I think everything that's changing, all these traditions that are kind of going going away and kind of dying off. It's probably for the best overall. I know it feels bad, all the changes that we're seeing, in our environment, our daily lives. It might not make sense in the short term, but in the long term, it's just kind of always kind of how we evolved as people, as creatures, is constantly see what works and what doesn't work, and doing our best to continue that progress. We're always taking steps forward, even if you might take a few steps back. We're always kind of progressing. You just want to make sure that you're along, like you're on the right path. You're going down the right road for yourself, and things are going to get rough, especially for people who are trying to do what's right and trying to put other people before them. They're the people who kind of feel this injustice that's going on a lot more. So it's things get rough, but you gotta really stay the course. Like I said in my previous video, don't allow any of these feelings, these temporary feelings, to keep you off of where you're going. You gotta take inventory and look back at all the good things that came from you going down this path, and not allowing these rough times, these growing pains to deter you from doing what you think is right and doing what you know is going to lead to a better future for yourself and for everyone around you. So things are dark right now, but this is a blessing. This is a really, really great time to understand not only yourself, but what's going around you. Try to bring yourself closer to, your purpose, and not allowing any of these temporary feelings to overwhelm you. Just let them run through you and continue down your path, because if good things have always happened to you and came to you all throughout your life, even if you don't even recognize them at the time, they're just not going to stop just because how you feel. Unfortunately, you're going to continue to receive them, continue to get them. So don't even question it. Allow these dark times or use these dark times to really, really make a lot of great progress and a lot of growth. And I feel like, to use like a video game term, as a garbage truck's getting the dumpster behind me, use this time to really get some valuable experience. You know what I'm saying? This is not the time. This time is better off doing that than going down your path and acting like what's going on isn't happening. This is the perfect time to be like, no, I'm gonna grind a little bit right now, and really, really take this time to get better at who I am and where I want to be, versus just continuing going and pushing through it and acting like what's happening isn't actually happening. Kind of like, no, ducking your head into like the sand and just acting like everything's all right, everything's normal. This is the perfect opportunity to be like, no, things aren't good right now, things aren't perfect, things are getting pretty intense. I'm gonna use this intensity, this heightened difficulty, to just sharpen my skills and to get better and to grow and to progress. I know COVID was a really good time for that as well. People might not have seen it that way, but that was, at least for me, a really, really good time to just really hone in on what you want to do, where you want to be, and what you see in the future. And I feel like a lot of people who use that time for that are just benefiting from it, tenfold. So I think this is like the perfect time right now to do that, to really go for whatever you're going for, doing the things that you know is right. Obviously there's never a great time, there's never a perfect moment for it. I can say, oh, today is a good day, so tomorrow's a good day. There really isn't a perfect day, honestly. But when things are just not adding up or things are really bad, that is the absolute best time to sit down, take inventory about what's going on, who you are, where you want to be, and really, really hone in on everything that you're trying to get. and use this time to really just go through it, blast through it, because this is the time for it. This is definitely the time to do those things. So always allow yourself to just feel what you're feeling, and allow those feelings to go through you. Do not suppress them. Show your emotions. Don't even be afraid to be emotional or get emotional or even cry in public. Going through that, going through that, I don't even know what to call it, through that moment, with other people being present, and allowing yourself just that grace to have people pass judgment on you for doing that is such an amazing feeling. I've done that a few times, and I'm definitely glad that I did, because it overall was a benefit to me, because I didn't hide what I was feeling. I feel like people who I want to live in a world where people can feel comfortable showing their emotions in any setting. You know what I'm saying? There's never a bad moment to just feel something, and that should be more normalized. And it is going to be. I know it is. It's just kind of like I said, we're going through these growing pains of figuring things out and seeing what should and shouldn't be. But yeah, allow this dark time that we're all going through to really hone in on what you want to be and what you want to see moving forward. And at the same time, make sure that your moral compass isn't being manipulated or changed just to fit how you're feeling currently. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings right now we're all kind of being manipulated right now because of what's going on in the world, where we're seeing specific things, we're hearing specific things, so we can all kind of feel a certain way, which is a blessing in some sense, but also you got to kind of like see through the see the forest of the trees, kind of get the nuance, kind of block out a lot of the noise that isn't really for you. We got to be like, yeah, I'm not really supposed to be this tapped in the Israel Palestine situation. I should definitely be informed, but there's way more nuance to this than we'll ever know. We should just kind of, well, I'm at least kind of allowing them to kind of do what they got to do, and allowing the people who are supposed to be handling it to handle it, and allowing them to kind of just do what they're supposed to do. There's a lot more nuance to these things. Some people feel like we're giving too much foreign aid to them and to Ukraine, but when you really look at the numbers, it's actually not that much. We're actually not that much aid we're actually giving, but so many people are just feeling right now, which is great, but they're just allowing their feelings to just dictate what they're doing instead of just feeling them, letting them flow through you, and then using that time to make a less impulsive decision. We're all acting very impulsive right now because of our neurodivergence, but like I said, we're all waking up to it. We're all getting more and more comfortable talking about it. I've had a few conversations about people who say they have certain things with their brains, and I'm glad that we're all getting to that comfortability. But this time we're going through, we should definitely be mindful of it, and being like, this is the perfect opportunity right now when things are the most uncertain they've been in a very, very long time. This is the best time right now to just do what you feel like is right. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. Just use this time to make that impact. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to implore all of you to do that as well. So continue doing it. Don't stop, and yeah, make the most of this beautiful time, because better days are definitely on the horizon for sure. I know they are. They might be sooner rather than later, depending on who you are, where you're at. But use this time to really get some good experience in, because this is the time. There's definitely a huge multiplier right now that we can all be tapping into, and really getting some huge gains from it. So yeah, definitely make the most of it. That's all I got for y'all. Get out of here.